All right, let's talk about something that gets every single one of us. That moment when you have to write something and you just freeze. Well, today we're going to walk through a simple guide to the writing process, and I promise we are going to beat that blank page for good. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You sit down, you're ready to go, you open up a new document, and there it is, that blinking cursor on this endless white screen. It just sits there, mocking you, and the panic starts to set in. But here's the good news, and I really want you to hear this. Great writing isn't some kind of magic trick. It's not a gift that some people have and others don't. It is a process, a skill, something anyone can learn. And this is that process. Just think of it like a 5-step roadmap. It's a journey that takes you all the way from a tiny little idea to a completely finished piece that you can actually be proud of. The stages are pre-writing, drafting, revising, editing, and publishing. Let's break them down. Okay, first up is stage 1, pre-writing. This is what I like to call the creative foundation. And the best part? There are no rules here. Seriously, forget about spelling, forget about grammar. This is all about playing with ideas. So how do you actually find an idea? Well, you could try free writing. Just set a timer for, say, 5 minutes and don't lift your pen from the page. Just write whatever comes to mind. Or, do a classic brainstorm. Make a list or a word web. You could even just talk to a friend about it. The goal here is simple. Get ideas down. Any ideas. No judgment allowed. Okay, so what happens when you have the opposite problem? You've got an idea, but it's huge. Like, you want to write about the astronomer Galileo. Where do you even begin? How do you narrow that down? Well, here's a fantastic little hack. Just ask the basic reporter questions. Who, what, when, where, why, and how? When did he live? What did he actually accomplish? Why is he still important? Answering these simple questions is like using a zoom lens. It instantly helps you find a more focused angle. And check out what happens when you do that. Suddenly, Galileo isn't this giant, intimidating topic anymore. It's a bunch of smaller, way more interesting stories. You could write about his telescope, or his discovery of Jupiter's moons, or the controversy around his ideas. Each one of those is a solid topic. Now, before you jump into writing, there's one last, absolutely crucial step in this pre-writing stage. You have to ask yourself 2 things. 1, why am I writing this? Is it to inform, to persuade, to entertain? And 2, who am I writing this for? Knowing your purpose and your audience will shape every single word you choose from here on out. All right, let's move on. Stage 2, drafting. I call this stage permission to be imperfect, because that is your only job here. This is not the time to be your own worst critic. I absolutely love this advice. Your goal with a first draft is to get everything, all your messy, brilliant, half-baked ideas, out of your head and onto the page. That's it. Don't stop to fix a typo. Don't worry if a sentence sounds clumsy. Just keep moving forward. You're essentially taking all those raw notes and brainstorms from stage 1 and just starting to stitch them together into sentences and paragraphs. It's going to be rough. It might even be a little bit ugly, and that is perfectly okay. In fact, it's expected. Remember the golden rule. You can't edit a blank page, so your job is to give yourself something to work with. Now that you've got that messy first draft, we get to the really transformative part. We're actually combining 2 stages here, 3 and 4, revising and editing. This is what I call the upgrade. This is where the magic really happens. It is so important to understand that revising and editing are 2 totally different jobs. Revising is the big picture stuff. You're looking at your ideas, the flow, the organization. Are your arguments strong? Could you use better words? Editing comes after that. Editing is the fine-tuning, the polish. It's when you hunt down typos, fix punctuation, and correct grammar. Always revise first, then edit. When you get to that polishing stage, a checklist like this is your absolute best friend. And here's a little pro tip for you. Don't try to find every mistake at once. Read through it one time just looking for spelling errors. Then read it again, this time only looking for comma mistakes. It's way more effective. And hey, if you're working on a printed copy, you can even use these old-school proofreading symbols. They're like a secret code that editors have used for ages to mark up a text, showing exactly where to add something, where to delete something, or what to capitalize. And here's a perfect real-world example. The core idea is right there, right? But it's full of those little errors we all make in a first draft. We've got a spelling mistake with believed, the wrong version of there, a missing capital letter. This is exactly what the editing process is for, to catch and fix all these little things. And that brings us to the finish line. Stage 5, publishing. You have put in the work. You've pre-written, you've drafted, you've revised and edited. Now it's time to share what you've created.
Now, publishing sounds like a big, scary word, but it doesn't have to mean getting on the bestseller list. It can mean anything. You could submit your piece to the school newspaper or a blog you like. You could turn it into a presentation, or you could simply put it in a portfolio to see how much your writing is improving over time.
See, this last step is about more than just being done. It's about closing the loop. It's about taking the ideas that were once just in your head and letting them connect with another person. It's also a chance to step back and just appreciate the journey you took to get there. This is why a little self-reflection is so powerful. After you finish something, ask yourself a couple of simple questions. What was hard about this one? What felt easy? When you do that, every single thing you write becomes a learning experience that makes you even better for the next one. So there you have it. Forget about panic. Forget about magic. Writing is a process. It's a skill. And now you have the roadmap. Your story, your essay, your big idea, it's just waiting to be told. So the only question left is, what are you going to write first?